in there. That's what look in there, and that's what you're seeing. See that green light on?
Yeah.
It means it's recording.
Ah, nice.
You see the second?
See?
Alright, gee.
Look at the nail shot.
It's recording.
$65 nail.
Here.
Hi. Hi, Mike.
How you doing?
I'm Sondra London. This is Mike Diana, otherwise known as Boiled Angel. And Media Queen is dead, Boiled Angel is dead, and nothing is left but you and me.
Yeah.
And the state wants both of us.
Yeah. They killed them off, and now they're going after us.
Yeah. So we're gonna fight it, right?
Yeah.
I've got in trouble here with my exclusive rights to the story of the Gainesville murders. That the state wants to lay claim to that. Tell us about your trouble.
As far as the Gainesville thing went, it started when I printed number 6
Of what?
of my series Boiled Angel.
Mm-hmm.
6th issue I got over there. The orange
Is
one.
it this one right here?
Yes.
Okay. This is the start of your trouble right here?
Yes. I
Okay.
had 2 people, male and female. They were the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Came into my door.
Cindy Barnard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I forget the other one's name.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Had a mustache.
Yeah.
Came to the front door and said, pulled that out of the briefcase. Parked about 2 blocks down the street, so I couldn't get a driver's license number.
Mm-hmm.
And just played the whole scare tactic game. Told me, held it up and said, because of this, you're a suspect in the Gainesville student murders. What do you think of that?
That's a conversation
This was
stopper
in
right there.
1990, I believe it was. So I was, younger now. Hadn't ever been in any kind of trouble before with the police. So.
How old were you?
I think it was 21.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just turned 21.
No record.
It was December, right around Christmas time. Just came back from Christmas shopping with my mother, and they were there waiting. And so they told me, they read through it. They said, this is a bunch of filth, while you're printing it. You need to stop printing it, are you glad you're a suspect in the murders? Is that what you wanted? Is that why you drew it?
I read the investigative report as I was researching the Danny Rowland case down in the courthouse, and it said that you were sullen and uncooperative.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Well, what I did is they asked me about the addresses inside. And I said,
What
I don't
addresses, Mike?
inside addresses of all the contributors, people that have things in that issue.
Ah.
I told them I didn't want to talk
Your
about
partners
that.
in crime?
Yeah, pretty much.
And you told them you weren't going to talk about that?
Yeah.
And were you sullen and uncooperative?
I think I was cooperative because I gave him a blood sample.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which
but I mean, sullen, everyone knows all serial killers are sullen and uncooperative, so you fit the profile. Isn't that right?
Yeah, pretty much. What I told
Here's
him.
to obscenity.
What I told him was, they said, because this is obscene, you don't have a right to print it. And I said, well, don't I have freedom of speech, freedom of the press? And he said, well, I don't like your attitude.
Yeah.
Or he said, I don't like your fucking attitude.
He did?
Yeah.
And he was obscene?
Yeah.
Whoa, but he was a cop, so,
And, I said, well, you can use all the bad language you want. After I drew that, it's not going to shock me into telling you anything. And then I started walking to my car, because I had my 35mm camera. I knew that I just bought for filming it.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be a neat picture of me next to them. I was going to have my mother take a snapshot of us. They said, where are you going? And I said, oh, I'm going to go get my camera, so we can have a group shoot of us, picture. And he said, you're not going to take any pictures of us. You're not going to see what our car looks like. Anyway, they said, well, yeah, come by our office tomorrow, and we'll take a blood sample, and if you're not a suspect, we'll get you off the list. That's what they told me. Stop printing, or I'm going to take it in front of a judge and have him arrest you for obscenity. And Then as he left, I didn't have any response to that. I said, okay, I'll be there to give the blood sample. And after, on his way out, he said, and don't tell any of your little friends about me. You know, I don't know what the fuck that meant.
Is that a threat?
I guess he thought, what was there to tell anyway? It didn't make any sense.
Like you're part of a death cult and you're going to send some more serial killers after him to whack him? Is that it?
I guess.
Oh boy, must be nice. So how'd you feel about that, Mike?
Oh, I was pretty pissed off about it.
You were pissed?
Yeah.
Were you scared?
Yeah. My mom freaked out about it.
Yeah.
There was a certain point where I was wondering if it was all worth it.
Yeah.
Drawing for that,
Was that the worst point that you've had where you could question, the value of your being an artist?
Yeah, it didn't last that long.
Mm-hmm.
After one night's sleep, I realized that I was going to come across assholes like that.
Okay.
I think it was because I was starting my magazine, Boiled Angel. I got to the 6th issue. I did 300 copies of it, which was the largest copy run I did so far. And
Yeah.
I think as I was getting more people interested, getting more copies out there, and getting more contributors and a better, format and stuff, that it was beginning to scare them. They
Mike,
saw I was going somewhere and they better stop me early before I get out of control.
What particular item that you published really set them off? Did you ever find out, what was the most offensive thing that they were complaining about?
In that number 6?
At all?
Well, this was the beginning of it, was the 6th issue. This was right after the whole Two Life Crew thing, where Martinez was trying to prosecute him. And when I went there to give the blood test at the office, they had a big portrait of Martinez, on the wall.
Yeah.
And I knew then, well, it's the same thing. They're trying to censor me. And I didn't like it. They took a blood sample. I never heard from them again. That was it.
That was it. Well, you're down there in the Alachua County courthouse where all the 200 plus news agencies poring over all of the reports about the Gainesville murders.
Yeah.
And so, you definitely have made a little bit of infamy there.
Yeah. Later thinking about it, in a way I'm happy too that it happened because I get to be part of that whole, think that I was part of that whole investigation, even in a small way. I don't think they really thought I was a killer, they're just using that as an excuse.
Really? No, I don't think that's it, Mike. I think that they had an obligation to follow through on all tips.
Yeah.
More or less to protect themselves and to say that we're good cops, we've done good law enforcement, we have investigated every tip that was given to us. And if someone came forward with a tip, that they always followed up on it. I don't think it was a matter of exerting any judgment on whether this is a good tip or that's a bad tip. But that they got a tip, they followed through on it. It would be the way I would interpret that from studying the case. But that wasn't the end of your legal troubles.
No. This was, it was done for a while. I did number 7 issue after that. About a year later, I did a number 8. And I had stopped. Number 7 was going to be my last one just because I wanted to move on to other things.
Okay.
Do
So,
bigger.
Mike, did it have a chilling effect on your artistic desire to express yourself at all at that point? Now, would you just stop with the Gainesville fiasco where they...
At very first, for a couple of days it did. And then I realized that, the stuff I'm putting out really is powerful. If it got the attention
Did
of
you
the
realize
police.
that yourself, or did other people tell you that?
This was after that. Lots of people told me that it was, but after getting the attention of somebody like that and them telling me to stop publishing it, I knew they didn't have a right to tell me what I could publish.
Okay.
'Cause
So
it
that
was-
made you know that there was a power to what you were doing, that it was powerful enough to attract heat.
Yeah. And that wanted me to keep it going, so I did a number 7 issue, and I was going to quit a number 7, and then I did number 8, ended up doing it anyway.
When did you publish the Schaefer piece?
That was in number 7, I'd say, 1991, probably
Okay.
early 91.
Now there was a lot of heat involved in that, as I published Killer Fiction originally, and it was seized by the prison and said it was unfit in the hands of a prisoner, pornographic, filth, etc., etc. But I was never prosecuted for publishing Killer Fiction.
Yes.
Now then, you wanted to publish one of the stories from Killer Fiction,
Yes.
which you did.
I was expecting dinner.
Okay. And then what happened?
Nothing for a while until they brought the whole charges. That was last, I guess, October. That was probably last June. I'm not sure now. My first court date was June, right before my birthday.
Okay,
It was
what
my
year?
24th birthday
What year?
of
This is
June
93.
of this year. Yeah.
This is 1993.
Yeah, June of this year was my first arraignment
Okay.
for this whole deal that's going
And
on.
it resulted from a complaint.
As far as I know,
The complaint was made by someone in
Um,
California.
I'm not sure. We haven't found out yet.
Where did I get that idea?
I don't know.
There was a reader that came forward
I
and
haven't heard at
complained.
all. It's possible, but I haven't heard yet at all how they got the copies of 7 and 8, and why number 6. Since they had number 6 from before, why number 6 isn't involved too? They're just charging me with 7 and 8.
Really? Okay. Now, I believe that that at one time you had told me that some of the problems you were having were due to publishing the Schaefer piece.
Yes. I
How,
think
how
so.
did you find that out? What?
Well, the newspaper articles that came out.
In other words, the reporters
From-
asked them, and they made those statements to reporters.
Yeah.
They didn't tell you directly.
No. The whole thing as a whole, they were saying was obscene.
Okay.
But the big thing the newspapers were printing was, serial killers. They got articles that wrote, blasphemy and art.
Blasphemy's not against the law, last time I checked.
Yeah. But I think that's what did it. What got to him was the piece by Schaefer and the Tool thing, the offer to sell his recipe for barbecue boy sauce.
And I've been
And the
publishing
dressing.
that and making that offer for
Yeah.
3 years now. I'm the one who got the recipe for Otis Tool's
Yeah.
barbecue sauce. I'm the one that published everything Schaefer ever wrote. And for some reason or another, they haven't come after me on that. But they came after you.
Probably, as far as I can tell, because they look at mine more as, because I got pictures in there, not pictures, but
Yeah, but you don't
drawings.
have beaver shots.
Yeah. But it's a comic book, and they expect a comic book to be for kids. They think I'm giving it to kids, which I'm not. They think a comic...
Is that what you think, or is that in writing somewhere?
That's what I think the whole reason is.
Okay. And now, who is paying for your legal defense?
So far it's been the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund.
Okay, and what did they say about the issue of the comic books being for kids, and versus what you're doing?
Well, they gave the lawyer a retainer to take the case. They haven't. What I heard was that the whole defense fund, as a group, was split pretty much down the middle, or it was on the edge whether they were going to take my case or not. So they
Do you know
almost-
what the questionable aspect was?
They just. This is all I heard from somebody else, not from them. So maybe it's not true, but they just didn't know if they wanted to touch it or not.
I have had the
Maybe thought it
same
was too
thing.
graphic.
I have had the exact same thing with my lien law, where the state has sued me regarding publishing Danny Rawlings' personal account of his life. I went up and down the state talking to lawyers, and had one lawyer right after another say they would not touch it.
Yeah.
You know, the ACLU.
Yeah, I
The
wrote to them.
ACLU lawyer in Gainesville would not touch it. I
Is
said,
there
look,
any-
why don't you take that word ACLU off your door and put HORE, that's all you are, give me fucking ACLU, talking about ACLU, and when it comes down to a case, you wimp out. It's too unpopular, it's too controversial.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that easy to find a lawyer to take your case.
Well, actually it was at first. As soon as this happened, I called people I know in New York City, which are involved, that have had their art published in my series, my different issues.
You called artists.
And I called up these fellow artists who have their art in the magazine and told them what was going on, and they immediately said, we'll call the defense fund. So I called the defense fund. They said, can you fax us, or not fax, but FedEx, a copy of each issue, a couple copies of each issue you're being charged with, and a copy of the summons, court summons. I sent all that out. It was a few days later, they called me back and told me that when I went to my arraignment, to plead not guilty.
Yeah.
They didn't actually tell me they were going to take the case, but they said plead not guilty, and we're going to get you a lawyer.
Okay.
That's when I came across my lawyer right now, Luke LaRoe.
Okay.
He does a lot of First Amendment cases. I think it's just First Amendment issue law.
Where is he?
It's
Where is he?
office in Clearwater.
In Clearwater? He's
Works
a First
in
Amendment
Tampa.
lawyer. Well, you're lucky you got anyone to support you at all on this, I must say. Mike, the state is trying to stop you from doing your art.
Yes.
What do you think would happen if art like yours was prevented?
I think it would actually be harmful.
How?
I think my art helps in a way, not just my art itself, but a lot of art like it. If they get rid of mine, then the next step, they can get rid of anything they don't like.
First we get the juice, then we get you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's true. So, it's just, I think there's people out there, there could be people out there thinking of doing art that are now actually afraid to do it because they see what I'm going through.
Really?
Which isn't right. You got other people that are finding themselves guilty and too afraid to go ahead and do it.
Okay, Mike, I asked you a question a minute ago, and I'd like to ask you this similar question. I asked you what kind of chilling effect it had to be questioned by the rolling task force on the Gainesville murders. What about being actually arrested and charged with obscenity? Has that affected your art? Has it affected you as an artist?
Lately, for a while it did. I was really worried about it. And I was thinking, well, I just don't want to fuck with it.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of assholes and I want to leave the state. But then on the other hand, I figured, well, that's my art, something I really believe in. I'm not just going to throw it all away because a few people, and I found out later after talking to a lot of people that it was just, I think they're in the minority if you go in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
The people that are against.
Mike, let's
get
into the art itself a little bit. Your art is very disturbing, and it has a lot of graphic elements. Well, I guess it's graphics, obviously it's graphics, but I should say sexually explicit imagery, horrible things, mutilation, murder, a lot of sexual organs, a lot of body parts cut up. Where does this art come from?
A lot of the ideas I get for it are from the news, watching the news every night, on TV.
I don't see this on TV, Mike. I don't see anything like this on TV.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What TV station are you watching, Mike?
Like that there.
Like this here.
Is
What have we got here, Mike? Tell us about it. Can we get a close-up on this, Mr. Cameraman? And I'd like you to tell me what I'm seeing here.
what I want to represent and show is the ugliness in our society.
Really?
That there isn't, I haven't created anything ugly, it's already there, and I'm just putting it down on paper and trying to tell people to look around them and open their eyes and see what's really going on.
This is not going on in my neighborhood, Mike. This is going on in your mind.
Yeah,
This is not on the news.
To me it is.
Okay.
On the news every night you see murders and rapes. You hear about people getting cut up and eaten. And that's stuff that's really horrible, but it's something that's real, and I'm not going to hide that. I'm not going to try and draw happy things and pretend these other things aren't happening. Child abuse. That one there is to represent pollution. We take a shower to wash our filth off. Everybody has toilets and bathtubs, and we use water to wash dishes and everything else.
Yeah.
We're polluting our waters and oceans, and someday it's going to come back to us like as a monster that's going to end up killing us all. So we're killing ourselves.
I can't see this part right here. What is this up here? What's it? He's saying something? This monster is saying something?
That's out of a book. It's a
Collage?
microscopic organism from a book.
Protoplasm?
Yeah, something out of the sea or be in the ocean.
Okay.
Kind of like the revenge of all the toxins mixing with the things in the water created this beast,
Okay.
which is now killing us, but we can't blame anybody but ourselves for that.
So you're hoping through this art to get us to look at the ugly side? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's why it's purposely made.
Hey, here's another lovely bathroom scene. Now this is another monster jumping up out of the toilet, isn't it? Is this
Yes.
from the same series? Is this the same essential
Yes.
commentary?
Yes.
What's going on here? I see a bloody arm and...
It's a man has committed suicide in the bathtub, slit his wrist.
Uh-huh.
And you got a demon head coming out of the toilet.
What's going on with that demon's eyes?
Just like bugging out of his head. It's, I make him trying to be humorous at the same time, trying to be
This is not
shocking.
funny. I'm not laughing, Mike. Look at me, I'm not laughing. This is dead serious stuff here. It's not funny.
Yeah, well, to a lot of people it isn't, but I'm not making my art for everyone. I don't think there's any art out there anywhere that's for everyone.
Okay.
I don't expect everyone. I don't force it on people. The people who want to look at it and read it, I think should have a right to do it, and I should have a right to draw that for anyone who would be interested in it.
Mike, you mentioned blasphemy, and right here we're dealing with the symbolism of the Christian cross. And once again, we've got the toilet, we've got the cross coming from the toilet, you've got a mutilated corpse on the cross with the erect penis. You got a beheaded head, I guess that comes from the corpse. And the arms have been cut off. I see one of the arms falling in the toilet. There's some radiant beams, look like blood spurting out from this. What is it? What is this all about here, Mike? What's this about?
That to me is the controversy in my mind and that I grew up with, going to church, being forced to go to church. I think that religion is a bunch of shit. And so I've taken, it's a lot of contradictions. They say that I think Jesus had a dick just like anybody else, and he probably came out of it if there was a Christ. I don't believe there was.
Okay.
But, him dying for your sins. And what I see here, people get mad because he's in the toilet, his head's missing, he's more mutilated than he is. I'm just taking it one step further. A lot of people that are religious have crucifixes, Jesus crucified, above their bed, above their dinner table. And that's an ugly thing, seeing a guy now do a cross every day when you wake up, praying to a guy that's dead on a cross. And I'm saying, well, as far as I'm concerned, he threw his life away, for us. We're obviously sinning. If Jesus is real and he died for our sins, then he was pretty stupid.
And it was a waste of time?
Yeah.
So we're still sinning?
It was down the toilet, and
okay.
if we're going to mutilate him bad enough to nail him to a cross and let him die up there, why not cut off his head? There's people cry about Jesus being, you go to church, they'd cry about Jesus. He suffered on a cross. He had a crown of thorns pushed in his head. You can watch the news, and there's 5-year-old kids who are killed in ways worse than Jesus did.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if there is a Christ or a God out there, where is he for these kids?
Okay.
And also the
Can,
whole...
can you hand me the little one? The little, no, the little, yes. What's this all about?
That's my devil's pitchfork.
Are you a Satanist?
No, I don't think of myself as a Satanist. I have an interest in Satanism. I find it interesting, just like different religions. I find interesting. I'll read about Buddhism, witchcraft, voodoo, and Satanism to me is just is a religion out there. I don't believe there's actually a main Satan. I don't believe there's a devil. I believe in evil.
Well, Mike, your art is full of Hail Satan, 666, pentagrams, Baphomet, the 666, the whole litany of Satanism is throughout Boiled Angel and throughout all of your art.
Yeah, I think I was a certain... Also with my art, I go through certain, they call it phrases.
Phases.
Phases, I mean.
It's so much fun talking to a visual artist in words.
So I go through all these phases, and one of them was the blasphemy. I kind of got over that lately because I wore it out, I think.
Really?
I don't regret drawing any kind of blasphemy or anything with Satan in it, but...
What? You don't recall?
No, I
What
don't
do you have,
I
like...
don't regret.
What do you have, like mixed emotions about
No,
this?
I don't regret.
You don't regret it? Oh, okay. I thought you said you didn't recall.
Anything I draw, I don't regret drawing.
Oh, okay.
It's my art, and that's what I believed in. That's what I drew at the time.
So once again, you're
But-
not a Satanist.
No.
Everyone says you are.
Well, the thing with that is I'm playing on people's fears. People fear Satan.
Okay.
And
So
that goes,
Satan is just more like the serial killers. You're not a serial killer
to me,
either,
like
right?
if you can see this tattoo.
Can you see?
of the
Can you see
devil.
the tattoo here? Can we get this up here? Anyway, can you, Mr. Cameron? Can we at all get a close up here?
Yeah, I'll just stick my leg up there.
Get that leg up there, boy. Can you see it?
I'm gonna light
It's
a
a
little
great
bit.
tat. And I just don't know if we can.
Yeah.
There, yeah, that's it.
Now,
There you go. You got the devil on your
now that's
ankle.
a devil
And a little
riding-
trident.
riding in a soapbox with a pitchfork like the ones I got.
Okay.
To me, Satan and the devil is like a cartoon character.
Really?
I would think of that just like Bugs Bunny. I mean, just like these plastic toy pitchforks, and these
Yeah.
are made for Halloween costumes for kids to carry to... I mean, these plastic pitchforks weren't made for Satan worshippers, they were made for children. Halloween, go to door, trick-or-treat. And I'm just playing on the whole thing, is you got the church saying that Halloween is is satanistic, or...
That's true. Well, you have some people saying that.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing to me. I like...
So the satanic imagery in your art, then,
Also, it's just...
should not be taken as a personal statement that Mike Diana is a practicing Satanist. Do you belong to a cult?
No.
Do you attend meetings?
No. Never have.
Have you sworn allegiance to the devil or Satan?
No.
Do you worship anything
I
at all?
haven't. Myself.
You really do. You worship yourself.
Yeah,
Well, isn't that what Aleister Crowley said? And the Beast 666. Isn't that what he said?
Well, there's a lot of things... I don't know a lot, but there's a few things that I believe, too, that you could say in Satanism. So, like, you should worship yourself.
All right.
You're the most important person.
Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the
Yeah.
law. Have you heard that?
I'm not, yeah.
Have you heard that before? That's you'd sign your name under that one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, but that,
Like
in
for
other words,
me-
you're saying to me that this is a personal belief of yours that as an artist, but yet you are not a member of some group.
No, no.
Okay. And you're saying flatly that you're not a Satanist, and that
Yes.
you're using this Satanist imagery as another symbol that you're manipulating within your art.
Yeah, it's just another idea to pass before people.
What does it symbolize?
It just symbolizes the, I put it in there to piss off religious people.
Okay.
Because they're so afraid of Satanism. They don't know what it is, but they're afraid of it anyway.
So you're looking for trouble.
I'm trying to stir things up. I'm not looking for trouble, really, for myself. 'Cause
So
I'm
did
an
you get what
artist.
you want?
No, I think I'm being...
Are you happy you got arrested? You getting recognition?
I'm being unjustly tried here.
But are you happy? Are you glad?
It goes back and forth. I don't like all the bullshit I'm having to go through. I don't like wasting my time in court to defend my art.
Okay.
Because it should speak for itself.
Okay.
I shouldn't have to explain. I don't think any artist should have to explain his art
And yet you do.
in a courtroom,
And yet you do.
a court of law, to keep himself from going to jail for 3 years.
And,
for drawing
and you do.
pictures.
And so do I. I have to explain what I'm doing
Yeah, I
too.
never have to explain what we're doing, you know, and also that's a hard thing too,
Yeah.
sometimes to explain.
Yes.
Because I have some feelings inside that I can't explain myself.
That don't have
Things-
words.
Yeah, things that I draw, you know, my reasoning for it. I started drawing kind of twisted things since I was really young, you know, I have a reason
How
for
old
that.
were you when you started drawing twisted things, Mike?
Say probably, depends what you think of twisted as, you know, there's a lot of different...
I would like to go back to
Words
the
there.
origins of your art, and I would like to know a little bit about your childhood, and maybe some of the striking images from your childhood, or things that might have happened in your childhood that affected the growth of, you know, your artistry, the kind of imagery that is in your mind.
Yeah.
Can you kind of go back to some of the things you remember from being a child or early years?
I was pretty happy as a child.
Really? Were you
My,
sexually abused?
No.
Were
never
you
was.
beaten or physically hurt?
No.
Okay.
My childhood was I think out of my life so far, the happiest times.
Okay.
Didn't have
Did you
any
go to
worries.
school?
Yes.
Public school?
Yes.
What kind of grades did you get?
I was living in New York. I was doing pretty good
Yeah.
back then. when
New
I
York
was
City
younger.
or state?
New York State,
Okay.
small town.
Suburban, small town?
Yeah.
Okay, it sounds pretty apple pie mom in America so
Yeah,
far.
pretty much was. We
Then
had
what happened?
Well, that's when it was going on. I've always had kind of a weird sense of humor, even back then.
Okay.
Things that a lot of people thought was funny, you know, or I mean,
That nobody
things-
else thought was funny.
yeah, I thought things would be funny that a lot of people would frown on. No, that's not funny.
Mhm.
You know, and I thought of myself even as being young as just being laid back.
Do
not
you
being a
remember
bad
ever
kid.
getting in trouble for your weird sense of humor or
I think it was one of my art classes in school.
Mhm.
We did a family portrait.
Mhm.
And as we were doing it, I looked at the dozen kids in my class drawing their families, all smiling, all happy.
Mhm.
And I started wondering, well, is that really the truth? You know, you have a member, this kid here is drawing his family of 6 or
Mhm.
7 people.
Mhm.
They're all smiling.
Mhm.
He's just copying a photograph, you know.
Okay.
You take a portrait of a family, you're all supposed to smile. You can't show what you're really feeling, you know. I'm sure I thought of myself young like that. Well, not all the people in all these families can be happy and all smiling all the time.
Yeah.
So I drew, you know, my mom, when I was drawing, I remember she was mad the other day about something.
Mhm.
Draw her with a frown on her face instead.
Yeah.
With me, I drew my penis because, you know, I knew I had a dick.
Mhm. How old
And
were
that's
you?
part of me.
Do you remember? What grade it
I was
was?
probably
What
third grade.
Third grade.
I drew the genitalia on me, I think my father,
Mhm.
and later the teacher came by and saw that, you know.
Mhm.
Why are you drawing that on there? You're going to get in trouble.
Hmm.
Why has your mother got a frown on her face?
Mhm.
So I had to erase it. And,
Oh, really?
you know, I felt censored back then.
Oh, you were being censored. You
Yeah.
definitely were. And at that point, you gave into it because you were a little kid and you didn't know any
Yeah.
better and you didn't want to be
And
bad.
I ended up getting in trouble anyway because when my parents came for open house and I had our family portraits up, you could see the mark where I tried to erase the genitals from
Mhm.
the thing. So
And your parents?
I didn't really get in trouble, but I got scolded for it. You know, why'd you do this?
Mhm.
I got in just as much trouble for being censored and having to cross it out as I did if I just left it in. Is how I thought as a kid about it.
Yeah, yeah. I remember I was in a similar experience. I was in a creative writing class, and they asked us to write a poem about our perfect day. And everybody wrote these, you know, like you say, happy face, you know, pictures of their perfect day. And I wrote a poem about how I slept through the whole day, you know. It was like, you know, you know,
Perfect day.
yeah, it was sort of the same thing, you know. I was kind of an outcast with my own artistic vision in the same way, only it was more with words. But back to some of the experiences that you had and the visions that came at you rather than the things that came out of your own mind. Things that you saw or things that happened to you. What in the world, you know, was there anything unusual, bizarre that you saw? Did you ever see dead bodies cut up or anything like that? Or?
I think I was a little different from the other kids on my block. Not in a bad way, but in more of an open-minded way. My parents, we go to church every week. I had friends that didn't go to church. Me and my friends would play, and I had one friend, this was when I was really young, and I'd get back from church on Sunday, you know, the priest would tell us what's a sin to curse, you know, use bad language. I'd go over to my friend's house, he didn't go to church, and he was, you know, about the same age as I was, probably like 7 or 8, and he'd always say, fuck a duck, because he heard that from his older brother, so fuck this, fuck that, everything.
Deviance, little slight deviance.
And
that was a kick.
yeah, for me, I mean, I thought that was fun. You know, I just got out of church. Now it's my own time. I go to school, I'm good. I go to church, I'm good. I want to get out of church and I want to be able to have a little fun.
Okay.
I don't want to be good all the time. So it was things like that. We had a lot of, you know, we had a cemetery down the street. We'd go in there and play in the cemetery. Tell ghost stories, talk about what it'd be like to spend the night in the cemetery if the dead bodies would rise up.
Trying to scare each other and yourselves.
Yeah, it was fun.
How about crime, Micah?
No, when I was young, I didn't get in any crime at all. I was really good in school, never gotten in any fights, never stole anything.
Yeah, I think you had mentioned to me your father took you to the circus or something.
Yeah, my dad, we'd go to the carnival circus, and my dad liked the sideshows all the time. So we go to the sideshows and see the freak animals, barnyard oddities.
Okay, what about human oddities?
Those two, we had the sword swallower and things like that would amaze me. I think, well, these people in the carnival here, you know, are kind of outcasts in society.
Yes.
And after seeing them, I felt the same way because of the way I thought. You know? Rather than looking at the people around me that were just amazed, well, how did you just swallow that sword? And he had a guy sticking pins in his skin, safety pins of one of the women's in audiences, car keys to his chest. Things like that. Instead of being grossed out like everybody else, I thought, well, that's pretty neat. It's neat to be different.
Okay.
And it's neat they're out there on stage showing people what they are. They got a deformity instead of hiding in a house. I got an autograph from a guy named Sela. and he had instead of arms, he had little
Oh, like a seal.
clippers,
Okay.
and they called him CeeLo the Seal Boy. And when he grew up and got older, he was called CeeLo. I got an autograph from him. Me and my sister got autographs. And that was interesting too. Just and I think that's where some of my twistedness started coming in. I was thinking, well, instead of drawing, when I drew people, instead of drawing the same old boring faces, the same old boring bodies, why not twist them around? You know, that's something real freaks.
Okay.
You know. And so it opened up something new for me.
So, Mike, do you think that you're sick? Do you think you're insane?
I don't think I
A lot of people think you are.
do. Yeah. I think it'd be possible. You know, a lot of people I think could be insane to think I'm insane.
Okay.
Just because they're so programmed they can't understand it. I don't expect them to understand my drawing of cut off dicks. You know, your average person understand that.
Yeah.
But it's not for everybody.
Okay.
And it's just my art, and I want people to take it as it is. You know, if you don't like it, then don't look at it. A lot of people
Do you think that doing this art is a way of processing your own disturbances that come up from your mind?
Yeah, sure. It's like Edgar Allan Poe wrote about his nightmares to get them out. And that's really, you know, you read his stories back then, and even now, there's a lot of disturbing things.
Well, does it work? Does it get them out?
Yeah. That's the reason I stuck with it.
Okay.
I had a lot of nightmares as a child. I'm not sure why.
Okay.
I'd wake up crying for a long time.
Can you remember any of those nightmares? Can you tell me about any of those early nightmares you had?
One was, well, it was about the cemetery down the street. I guess maybe because we scared ourselves as kids going to the cemetery. There was one cemetery, and it was of a young girl, 8 years old, I think, and that was the age we were at the time. We said, well, this girl died in our neighborhood.
There was a dead child?
Headstone. Saying, well, this girl died a while ago. She would have been 8 now, you know. She lived in our neighborhood. Wonder what it'd be like to meet her. Wonder.
And that's what you kids were talking about?
Yeah. Wonder what it'd be like if she was still around. You know, why she died, whatever.
Yeah.
What it's like to be 8 years old and be in the ground because we were alive, you know. Our minds would just go off, and that was more interesting to me than sitting and watching TV all day with a lot of other kids.
Okay.
But so I had a dream. I had my room on the second story. I had a 2-story house, and I had a dream that this girl, you know, I visioned it was her, kind of like not a spirit, you know. It wasn't like a happy spirit, like she was dead. She was rised up outside of my window, my room, the second story, floating in the air, and saying, well, why don't you come out tonight and play with me in the cemetery?
Really?
It's lonely out here, you know, I'm under the ground. I'm sad, I don't have anybody to play with or talk to. And that was a nightmare.
You were afraid?
Yeah.
Were you intrigued? Did you want to go play with her, or you were just like, get away, I'm scared?
I was afraid because I knew that wasn't something that was possible. I knew it was something.
In your sleep?
Oh,
when you woke up?
When I woke up.
Okay.
You know,
but in your sleep, she came to you and said, come out and play.
In my sleep, I was, you know, not afraid.
Okay.
In my sleep when I saw her.
Okay.
I woke up before I ever got out of bed, or as soon as I saw her. After a while, it started to get scarier. You know, she'd come and she'd bring other people. Like a little elf was dancing, a Lucky Charms elf or something.
Yeah.
Was dancing, singing a little tune.
She came back more than once in your dreams?
Yeah, I used to have the same dreams a while.
In other words, it was like a series or a serial. And it would stop when you'd wake up, and then another time she would come back again.
Yeah. Gradually with that dream, it got where she was getting mad at me for not going out to play in the dream.
Yeah, Mike, me too. I'm mad at you too. Why didn't you go?
Well, I remember as a kid I went out to the cemetery alone, and I said to her gravestone.
You did? In real life?
Yeah. I said, well, I know I can't play with you in real life.
Mhm.
I'd like to play with you, but I keep waking up
Mhm.
before I get a chance to get out of bed or whatever. You know?
I see. Mhm.
Later I was having dreams. I felt that was my fault, you know, that I kept waking up. What was I
Okay.
afraid of?
You were letting this little dream girl down, huh?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so she ended up bringing other people in, or other little critters and creatures would crawl up in my window and started scaring me.
Yeah.
Eventually those ended. Another dream, I'd have dreams about being chased by different creatures, monsters.
Could you see them, or were they just there? What you saw in these monster dreams, visually on the screen of your mind, did you see, I'm running, they're after me, or did you actually see the monsters?
It wasn't like watching a movie. It was like I was actually running from them. I could
Okay.
feel my heart beating faster. I'd wake
Okay.
up screaming.
But you don't remember visually how they looked like? Just remember that they were monsters and they were after you.
Yeah, just really twisted, distorted bodies.
Moving forward into your adult life, can you give me an idea of the kind of fantasies that you have as an adult? Can you tell me one fantasy?
Depends what kind of mood I'm in. For a long time, I thought it'd be nice to go out and kill people.
Mhm.
It'd be fun to do that.
Mhm.
Get out anger, frustration.
Mhm.
This was before I was drawing as much.
Really?
I was always drawing, but I'd say it was before I was publishing art.
Okay.
So I was drawing things, but they weren't really being seen, and I needed them to be seen. You know?
Why?
Well, you see, murder on TV gets coverage. Somebody gets killed, it's in the paper, everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought, well, not because I wanted to be known, but because I was angry, so I figured, well, instead of actually going out killing somebody, I can do my art instead.
Okay.
Get out anger, frustration.
So,
And if
this is
people-
important, Mike. When you started drawing these fantasies,
Yeah.
are you saying that you stopped more or less having them as fantasies? That you brought them out into pictures? This is
Yeah.
part of that, of processing those
Yeah,
ideas?
I think so.
Mhm. So now that you've been through a few years of really, really searching your unconscious, your nightmares, your fantasies, your violence, your perversion, your deviance, your blasphemy, anger against the church, after exploring this in your art for a few years, where are you now with your fantasy life?
Now as far as my fantasies would go, I see things I draw as fantasies, like, not that I would do them, but it's more like a fantasy to draw it,
Okay.
to see it drawn out on paper. You know, I created a piece of art,
Mhm.
and I don't want people to think that everything I draw is something I would like to do or I wanted to do once, because it's not.
Okay.
Like sex with the infants that I drew a lot of. I've
Mhm.
drawn a lot of that. Is something that I drew because that's such a taboo subject. I picked out subjects that were real taboo that I wanted to touch on that other artists haven't done.
Okay, then you're at first you were saying that the murders and stuff actually arose from your unconscious, and this would be the kind of thoughts that would go through your mind just as a fantasy. Now you're saying that you're drawing a subject infanticide, or the killing of babies,
Yeah.
and that was not something that was going through your mind in and of itself, but that you were drawing it to get a reaction. Once
Yes.
again, what I was saying, you're looking for trouble. Is that fair?
Well, still,
In other words, you're seeking for, in the
I'm
Satanism,
looking-
you're saying you're not a Satanist, that you're only using the symbols to get a reaction, that you don't even think about killing babies, that you're just drawing it to get a reaction?
Drawing it to say to people that this really is going on.
Okay.
I don't believe in killing infants or
Really?
I don't believe in myself killing anybody.
Yeah, do you enjoy the company of children? You and Michael Jackson, then?
Right now I don't really, because I don't want anything to be twisted around. I don't want people to have an excuse to say.
You're a pedophile or something.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I can see them setting me up with a kid that's going to later say I molested them.
Well, do kids get on your nerves? They do me.
Yeah, I don't want a kid.
I don't like kids
child.
around. They get on my nerves.
Yeah, I don't mind kids as long as they're not mine or they're not near me.
Yeah, that's what I
I wouldn't
mean.
kill them.
Okay.
Though.
Okay.
I was a kid. I liked my life as a kid.
You're still a kid. How old are you?
24.
Hell, I could be your mother. You're a kid.
Yeah. I think all kids deserve to have a happy childhood, and that's another reason why I'm drawing what I'm drawing, is to say, well, that's not the way it is. You know, everybody that thinks this is Disneyland, life is just a big game, it's all fun and games, is a fool, I think. And I'm saying, well, wake up and look at what the fuck's going on around you.
Okay.
You know, if you're so offended because I drew a baby dead, why didn't you get offended when you know what's really going on? Maybe it's because you don't. Whoever gets offended by seeing these dead babies I've drawn, you know, why they get so offended that I drew it? They're getting more offended at me, and they want to throw me in jail more than they do people who are actually out there killing infants.
And that's a good point.
And I'm talking about kids that are born. I believe I'm pro-choice. I'm not, you know, for a choice for somebody to decide if they want to get an abortion, they can.
Now, we sort of touched on, you're saying that you do not find children sexually attractive.
No.
You're afraid you could be set up and so forth. Do you mind telling me what you do find sexually attractive? Your art is full of imagery, of sexual perversion of every kind that I can think of.
Yeah.
Do you mind telling me, you know, what your deal is personally? I think we all want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all panting to find out, you know. Are you gay?
No.
Are you heterosexual?
Yeah. To date,
Bestiality turn you on?
No. I don't find, I like animals are cute, but not in a sexual way.
Okay. How about S&M?
As an interest, but
I mean,
right
doing
now,
it.
I wouldn't engage in it.
I mean, to get your dick hard.
No.
You personally, I don't mean using it as an image in your art to get a reaction. I'm talking about Mike Diana and what you do when the door is closed. Tell us.
I don't mind being tied up.
Okay.
But, you know, I don't want to be whipped. I don't want to be tortured and have my body
And
scarred
what about
or
doing that to someone
marked.
else?
I wouldn't beat anybody. I wouldn't be able to, I don't think.
Okay. What about butt
I
fucking?
wouldn't.
This is quite a theme in your art. You must forgive me for introducing these subjects, but it's in every picture you do, just about. You know?
With females.
And no, with males.
No.
In your art.
Yeah. I mean, with females.
Okay.
Anal sex.
You would do that with a woman.
Yeah.
And it would turn you on.
Yeah.
But you are not gay.
No.
Okay. Well, what is the point of dragging all this into your art?
It's just to, bring it out, you know, out in the open.
Why?
Just to, well, part of it's to piss people off. To be rude and crude, because I've seen, that's what I enjoy, is one of my influences is the underground comics, the old EC comic books from 1950s.
All right.
Which is
what
really...
What are your favorite titles there?
As far as artists go, I liked all the EC comic books, the Vault of Horror.
What?
And those...
The what?
The Vault of Horror.
Vault?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar.
In the 50s, they had a whole series of horror comic books came
Okay.
out.
Oh, okay. So I'd like to hear some more about your artistic influences. Is it all comics? Do you go back to any of the classical artists?
Not as much as comic art. Comic art is such I think a big influence because you don't have to take it too seriously. It's not, I don't have to be in a museum and make a day out of it to go see some art.
Okay.
You know, as you do see an original big art piece. You know, a comic book is made, it's art to me.
All right.
You know, it has a clear message. A lot of comic books are garbage. I don't like Spider-Man, Superman. I like the underground comics they had in the 60s. That's Clay Wilson, Rory Hayes.
Or Crumb,
Yeah.
Furry Freak Brothers.
They were doing things back then that were, you know, cut off dicks. Robert Crumb did a piece where it had a guy cut a woman's tits off and squeezing them when they were cut off, saying, it's okay for me to do this because I'm just a comic character.
Oh, wow. Great.
And this was back in the, I think, probably late 60s, early 70s. I'm not sure.
That really expresses in a way what, you know, you're doing with your art.
Yeah. And to me, I felt, well, I have to go a step further. You know, I don't want to just, I like and enjoy their stuff, but I don't just want to repeat what they did. I want to update things.
Okay.
You know, we got the problems of today. I'm going to put that down in my comic art when I work.
Okay. All right. Tell me about some of your other influences, not just in the visual arts, but as personalities, music, or...
Like our culture, like, to me, trashy type culture, like, you know, we were talking earlier about the coconut head thing. That's a work of art, you know, that's something.
You're
it's not
talking about
considered
about the
art.
coconuts that are all over
Yeah,
Florida
you can grab that.
that are carved into a head.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Kitsch art, huh? Junk art, trash art.
Yeah, it's
It's coconut head. And this guy's missing an eye. He's been mutilated, obviously.
he had a pirate patch on it, fell off.
In a violent incident, undoubtedly.
Yeah, probably. You know, it's art to me. It could be called like folk art, but to a lot of people it isn't art. They don't think of it as art, but I think it is.
Okay.
So things like this is the influence. Just
You
because.
sound like, all right, let me ask you this. Do you have an absolute aversion to fine art, high art, per se? Are there any fine artists?
I like
that you
Salvador
respect?
Dali.
You like Dolly?
Yeah, I've been there.
Have you
few
been to the
times.
Dolly Museum?
A few times.
It's quite enlightening,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I really like.
I was really surprised to see how he had mastered so many styles over a period of time before he got to what we call the Dolly style.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that interesting?
Yeah.
You know, he had the all of the old masters, with the chiaroscuro, and he draws like Rembrandt. He goes through the whole phases. He's got some cubism in there.
Yeah.
And then finally we get his distinctive voice as an artist. Now he was mastering the art of art by imitating other people before he even knew who the hell Salvador Dali was.
Yeah.
You are Mike Diana from the beginning. You're very distinctive. Your artistic style is recognizable at a glance. You definitely found your voice as an artist.
Yes, I think
Mike,
so.
I think your art is improving a great deal, and I would like to update
one,
your audience of fans with, you know, what I consider news. Mike is working in color and doing some really striking work that I'm very impressed with. And I think it's great to see you growing as an artist and exploring the use of color. It's too bad we don't have better lighting here to really bring out the color on this striking work. Will you comment on this, please, Mike? What am I seeing in this picture?
This is right here, a female robot type character. She has a clamp, claw, a spear on the other hand. Comes another influence of mine is I like the old Godzilla movies, Japanese horror films like that, the big...
We're speaking Japanese here, Mike. Are you turning Japanese?
No, it's just, like my t-shirt here with the Japanese, right?
Yes, it is. And your latest, or your next to the latest book, Sour Ball Prodigy, is very much influenced by Japanese comics.
Yeah. That was just one of the things I found that really struck me, is seeing the Japanese comics and the whole thing that I've always enjoyed, the movies and Japanese. They have a lot of Japanese erotic comic books and erotic art.
And violence.
Yeah, and violence, and that's what I enjoy about it, is I figure, well, they got some guts to do that.
Okay.
You know, more maybe than we have in this free country of America. And so I'm just putting the little Japanese style in there to show my influence from that.
All right. So what the hell's going on with America anyway, Mike? What's happening to us?
In my opinion, it's going down the tubes, and I'm just going to try and enjoy the ride down the drain before all this shit goes down. So, try and have fun.
I've got a great dick shot here. And I'm going to really complain about the production quality of this video at this point. My apologies to those who are interested in studying Mike's art. What I'm particularly interested in here is your use of color, since you are much more known for your black and white work. There, once again, we see the Baphomet, a familiar symbol, and the inverted, the pentagram. Again, the symbolism of Satanism found its way into your art. What I was trying to comment on, though, before I got distracted, was your use of color. And you've got a drawing here of a human part, and you've picked colors to portray it that are not exactly accurate. And yet, they do portray the reality of what we're dealing with here in a wonderful way. And I think that's great. I'm really glad to see Mike Diana using color.
Yeah. I hope to do more of it.
And the large format. Did you tell me that this has been shown? That you've had an art show? Tell me about that. There you go. Get down there on the bottom of the dick and let's see some of that color. You see, this is what I was trying to say. That you've chosen colors that are not literally true, and yet they portray the truth of the throbbing dick of the white male.
Yeah.
Okay, that's neat. And I'm pleased to say that you have artistic talent. That you're not merely shocking. And I think a lot of times we might be getting distracted by the shock value of what you portrayed.
Yeah.
And that you're not getting the recognition you deserve for your artistic talent.
Yeah, I think so.
As you grow as an artist, I hope that we'll be able to see more of that artistic talent come out.
Yeah, I plan on it. Those two were in a series of about 2 other big full color ones like that, and that were shown in the art show in New York City.
Yeah.
Probably about close to a year ago now.
What are you trying to say? There was 4 pictures?
Big ones like that.
Okay. Well, let's have some more, Mike. Get to work, buddy.
And the reasoning for the bright fluorescent colors is to, you walk in and right there you see it pops out at you.
The camera work is stunning in this video, I must say. Come on. The camera work is stunning in this video, and we would like to give compliments to Steve Sanborn, who has S&M Graphics, so that you can buy some of these super t-shirts. And I want you to buy these t-shirts, first of all, with Mike's artwork, and soon to come, Danny Rawlings' stunning artwork, Killer Art, is going to be on S&M Graphics, available in a special limited edition, courtesy of Sondra London, who owns all this artwork. Here. A little commercial break, forgive us, please. But I know that those of you who are ordering this video or would be interested in Mike Diana are also going to be interested in the t-shirts and in the artwork. And Steve definitely deserves recognition for the stunning camera work he's doing here, keeping you all entertained as he keeps the focus of the camera wandering here and there. Well, hey, are we having fun yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's what they have to do anymore.
If we don't have fun, I mean, we might as well
Yeah.
forget it. You know, if we're gonna get fucking prosecuted, if we're gonna get hounded,
Yeah.
if we're gonna get, run out of our homes, our jobs, and everything else because of our art, at least we can have some fun. That's all I say. Damn,
I think
y'all.
too.
Yeah. Okay, Mike, have we covered everything? Are we done? No, we are not. I wanted to question something that has been I've been accused of, which is inciting violence. Okay,
Yeah.
in the work that I publish and my research into serial killers and other violent offenders, and what makes them tick, and trying to get them to express themselves in their own inimitable way, I myself have been accused of inciting violence or advocating violence.
Yeah.
Your own work has received the same criticism. I'd like you to answer that accusation.
Oh, to me, everybody has to be their own person. And there's a lot of things out there that people are going to see throughout their life that are going to distract them. You know, things that are going to corrupt you, like the government and the church, I think corrupts people. I think if people can't look at my art, if you look at my art and you go nuts or you kill somebody, or try and act out what it is you see, then there's something wrong with you anyway. It's not my art that's doing it. It has to be that person.
Do you think your art has the ability to disturb someone to the extent that they will commit violence?
I don't think my art itself. I think it's actually, if anything, it would help prevent that violence.
In what way, Mike?
They could see my art as being a way of getting it out. They enjoy the art, so instead of going out and actually doing a violent act, they can get off on art.
Is that what you've done?
I don't really get off on it. I don't think it's just I more get off on being able to express myself without having to. I don't want to just sit at home, and not do my art. It's a part of me, and I need to get it out.
Okay. And what's next for you, Mike? Where are you going with this next?
It depends on the whole trial thing. I'm not gonna, no matter what happens, I'm not planning on quitting art at all.
Thank you.
Hopefully, bigger and better things. The trial, I think, is going to end up making the state of Florida a laughing stock for going after me in the first place, and it's going to end up helping me in the long run. Give me a lot of free publicity,
I
which
agree.
I think is good.
I agree. I met with the state's attorneys that are going after me, and I told them, go, baby. I says, my work will probably be very minor and of very little interest to anyone, but, if you guys come after me, together we can make this thing into a bestseller. They love that, there's smoke coming out of their ears, and I just wanted to make sure that they realize, that by coming after me, what they're doing is wrong. And that when we come back from the Supreme Court with a judgment that it is indeed wrong, that there are going to be massive damages to pay. Don't forget irreparable harm, honey. Don't forget damages. And when all this is said and done, the state of Florida is going to be paying me. I'm going to be a rich lady. I don't have to sell one book, okay? Because the state of Florida is going to pay me for what they've done for me.
Sue them for everything they got.
Oh, they're definitely going to be sued. When it comes back from a federal level, that this is wrong.
Yeah.
And they can posture and pose on a state level all they want. and think that they're going to get reelected by doing the right thing, so-called, on a local level. But we do have a constitution. We do have a country that was founded
agree.
on the basis that we are given the right to express ourselves. And when it comes back, honey, they're going to pay. But don't you think I enjoy throwing that in their face?
Yeah.
Honey, I get right in their face. I tell them right to their face. Go ahead, come on, honey. Come on, let's rock and roll. Go ahead.
I think it's probably their own insecurities, a lot of them.
Yeah, they're on. All they're trying to do is build their damn careers at my expense. But in so doing, I know what my rights are, and I know that my work is valuable, and I know that your work is valuable. And they can show their ass if they want, but we do have a constitution, we do have a federal law. I've got the ACLU behind me. You got the Comic Defense Fund behind you. We've got good lawyers. I've got an excellent lawyer, Lloyd Vipperman. He's brave. I've searched all over this state. I've interviewed 24 at least lawyers who would not take my case. And I found a lawyer that, has principles and believes in what's right. And we're definitely going to fight the state on this. And the state's going to be, like you say, a laughing stock when all's said and done.
Yeah, I know it.
Okay? Are we done? Is all said and done?
Would you like to plug your new book coming out?
Knocking on Joe is coming out of England. Of course, Media Queen. I've published all these stories, and I've shut Media Queen down. But Knocking on Joe has been picked up in England, and it's being reviewed. I've got to say this, not to take away from you, but I've just got to say this. Knocking on Joe has been reviewed as the crime book of the decade, y'all. Not the year, the decade. Yes. I heard from my publisher today, Paul Woods, who's also interested in publishing you. He told me today. And he also told me that rave reviews are coming in from Australia. David Nolte reviewed it as the best book he's ever read. Y'all. Yes. And there's some underground thing in England called Head Press or something, and they said it was, you heard of that? No, okay. And they called it an instant classic. And we're getting reviewed in the establishment press as well. And I think that this kind of work is very, very important. And the fact that it is being prosecuted makes it even more so. Yeah. And I hope that you get encouragement from me, I get encouragement from you to continue this work in the face of being prosecuted, persecuted, discouraged. And I think that what you're doing, you're bringing out imagery that, like you say, does show some of the sick shit that's going on underneath the surface anyway. Yeah. Right? This is going on anyway. I think we've shown all these.
Yeah. What about the sculpture?
I would like to show some of Mike's sculpture. Yes, you're right. Mike's been doing some sculpture, and we showed you've been doing some car. Yeah. And I don't have much of your sculpture, but this one here is kind of interesting, and I'm going to let you tell us about this. And we're going to be seeing more of this type of work from Mike as well, and it will be shown in some important galleries in New York that I am going to hook Mike up with. Can you see this? Oh my God, the lighting really sucks, y'all. You can't really see this. Oh, I love it when you stick the light bulb in the camera. Mike, tell us about it.
See your tongue and stuff.
Yeah, the jawbone. Is that a real bone? Point it out and tell us. Point it out and tell us. Ah, good. Much better. Much better. That'll work. That'll work. Mike, tell us what we see.
The whole thing is supposed to represent, there's a frog in the middle, and up here you can't see it, but you got the frog coming from the egg all the way up through the polywog where it gets its leg and loses its tail to the frog itself there. And there's a fetus here.
I remember learning in school that the fetus of the human and the frog were very similar in the early phases. Is that part of this?
Yeah, it's
okay.
We can dissect frogs without any problem,
Yeah.
But there's so much emphasis that human life is really important. And I think that, you know, right here we got body parts cut up. It's like a person being dissected.
Oh.
Just as well as you could dissect a frog.
Oh, okay.
Because frogs or people are only important to us as we make them.
Okay.
There's a lot of people out there that don't care about anybody else, you know, and
In other words, the other humans are just the same way as frogs are to them? Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
I love it when you just continually play with the camera. I'm sure that people enjoy looking at that.
The medium is the massage.
Yeah, that's for sure. Mike, I like this too. This is kind of cool. This is different.
Yeah,
We've got a little radiance. We've got a little radiance coming off of the framework here.
yeah.
I like it when you break the frame of your artwork. That always intrigues me. When the artwork has a frame and you've broken the frame. You know, I really like that. Is there any special function to this radiance up here?
Just to kind of give the whole thing kind of like a glowing effect.
Okay,
You know,
it does that.
The whole piece of art itself is
It
glowing.
does that. It definitely does that.
Kind of like a halo on an angel or something.
Mike, we're sitting in front of a painting, and I understand that this is done by your sister,
Yes.
and she also is artistically gifted.
Yes.
Her style is not yours, but I do see a certain macabre influence here. Tell us about your sister.
Yeah, she's my younger sister. We had the same. You know, we grew up together, as good relationship with brother and sister. Most of the time, we fought a lot too.
Sounds normal, Mike.
Yeah, it is.
Is it? I understand you used your sister as a model in some of these obscene things you did in Boiled Angel. Is this true? I heard this.
Not really.
Well, that's what I heard. What is the truth?
No. Any particular one? Or?
No, that's all I heard. I didn't hear what particular one I heard. Mike Diana used his sister as a model in some of these obscene things that he has done.
Oh, I think that's just another rumor somebody made up.
Okay. All right. Well, let's straighten that out then.
Either because they're jealous or you know, whatever.
Okay, so it's inaccurate.
Yeah.
Your sister was not used as a model in any of your obscenity.
No.
Okay. All right. But she is a gifted artist.
Yeah. I think so.
And she definitely seems to be interested in what can I say? The macabre?
Yeah,
In her
stuff, I think she's like me, in which when she went to her art classes, like she went to painting class to do this. When she went to painting class to do this, she was interested more in doing her own thing, something from her mind like that, rather than drawing a bold
Is she
fruit
like
or
Janet
painting.
Jackson following Michael?
No, she's still her own person.
Does she compete with you as an artist?
No, I don't
Certainly
think
you're
really.
more famous.
Yeah, she just enjoys doing her art.
Okay. Okay.
You know.
I'm very much interested in this type of art, and I think it's great that you're stepping outside of the limitations of the cartoon, the black and white, the lines, and letting us see a little bit more of your artistic talent in some different media. I really enjoy seeing this, and I'm sure this is a side of Mike Diana that the people who have seen your print work have not been familiar with.
Yeah.
What is it? What's the deal here?
This is a sick bed cross
A what?
kit.
Sick bed.
Yeah, somebody told me got this I painted it and glued the jewels and stuff to it. The actual wood is called a sick bed cross, in which this comes out and goes on top, and when somebody gets sick, they'll lay this on your bedside, put the cross up, and put 2 candles in the holes.
Okay.
And it's to ward off evil spirits.
Does it
or,
work?
Or to be religious.
Does it still ward off evil spirits, or have you made it into
Well,
something else?
I don't believe it.
Oh, you
that
don't
it
believe
really does. You know, it's just a religion thing. So I got the holy water thing there, and I got a little plastic toy toilet underneath the holy water.
You love
to
those
say,
toilets, don't you, Mike?
Yeah.
Can't get your mind out of the toilet, huh?
Just to say that holy water might as well be toilet water. If you went to a church and replaced all the holy water with toilet water, as long as nobody knew, it wouldn't hurt them.
Okay.
Because holy water, you know, I don't think it's blessed water means anything.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, we can go and dip our hands in holy water and go and shit in the toilet and ruin the world's, Earth's water, you know.
Okay.
Pollute our planet that we're praying for.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense
We're
to me.
praying. Do you pray?
I mean, the people
Do
go to
you
church.
pray?
I don't.
In any form? Is
No.
anything that you do comparable to prayer?
I don't think so.
Is your art comparable to prayer?
I don't believe, really. It's, well, I don't know what there'd be to pray to, because I don't believe in any higher
You said yourself.
thing.
Is your art a way of praying to yourself?
Yeah,
Is
I
it?
guess it is. To bring myself higher as a person.
Let's
to be
say
an
you sit
artist.
down in front of a blank piece of paper. Do you do that? When
Yeah.
you sit down to do your art, do you already know what you're going to do, or do you ever sit down in front of a blank piece of paper, and then I would call that praying to yourself?
Yeah, that's true. A lot of times I do just sit down and have to come up with something.
And when you come up with something, is that not like praying to yourself?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it could be called. So, yeah, and making this, you know, it's just, wasn't anything especially planned out, it just came along. It just ended up putting itself together, putting things here and there. So you could say I was in a state of prayer, maybe, while I was doing it.
Okay.
And it's done, so it must have worked then. Prayer was answered, you know.
Are you going to get it? All right, now the comic books, or the black and white stuff. We've seen a little bit of color that you're getting into. We've seen some of the mixed media with the collage and the sculptures per se. Are you interested in the other media? Are you interested in music or film or any other arts?
I've always wanted to get into film. I'd like to do that.
What? What's film project? If I gave you a budget right now and said, we're interested in you as a personality, we want to see a Mike Diana movie. Tell me how it would go, right now.
The way I am right now, I'd have violence, sex, violence, pretty much similar to my art that I'm doing.
Sex and violence?
But with a deep meaning of some kind. You know, like the,
Sex and violence is not too deep. I mean, I do see that on TV every night. That's not exactly deep.
But,
what deep? You say that the blasphemy is passe, the Satanism is just a symbol of deviance, isn't really a serious religion on your part. So what is there besides sex and violence? You mentioned the environment. What else?
Yeah, a film that's going to really make people think about it when they leave the theater, that can disturb people enough to where they're going to wonder about their own selves.
Okay, would it be animated or would it be actors?
Actors. I'd like to do.
What's your musical environment?
I like a lot of different types of music.
Come on.
Hardcore, punk music, thrash
Groups,
metal.
names?
Old groups like Black Sabbath, AC/DC. Newer groups, G.G. Allen, who's now dead. And, just anybody else.
To me,
that comes
G.G.
along.
Allen is performance art. I've never thought of it as music. I mean, this is something you turn on to listen to as music?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I started. I heard his music long before I saw him in concert.
Is that right?
Or on video.
Have you met him?
Not personally. I've seen him. enjoy his stuff.
Okay, so it sounds like that real nasty, loud grunge stuff, that hideous stuff that I hate, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Here? That like awful, grinding, screeching, screaming stuff that I hate.
Antisocial.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that right? Okay. So in other words, this kind of music, what does it do? It stokes your antisocial fires and gets you going. What's it do? It gets on my fucking nerves. I'm sorry.
Yeah, in a way.
I'm older than you, and I was a musician for 12 years, and I
Yeah.
sing, and I used to work in black clubs and sing, ballads and sing soul music and sing reggae, and to me this is music, and when I get into music, I get into what I call music, and this stuff you're talking about, it kind of really, really gets on my nerves.
Yeah, well, it's the same way.
Is that the point?
It doesn't get on my nerves.
Okay, well, you listen to it and you're happy?
I can relate to it.
It makes you do more art?
A
Turn
lot
that
of
stuff
times
on and do some art?
when I'm drawing, I don't have any distractions. Most of the time I don't
Okay.
put music or
Okay.
because I don't want to get up and have to switch the tape over after it runs out either.
Okay.
But yeah, just as a form of entertainment, like different groups to listen to. Just like anybody else enjoys a certain type of music.
We talked about film. Tell me your film influences and what you have seen on film that might be along your line that you would like to express yourself in that way.
I like John Waters, old movies. Just
Old
you know,
movies?
obscenity.
You're kidding. Old movies. Get out of here. You're lying. Shut up. What old movies?
I mean John Waters' old movies.
Oh.
Not even the new ones.
By old movies you mean John Waters?
Yeah.
I think you're talking about films.
Casablanca.
Not
40s.
not the film where they had all the white makeup on, but those just really badly made 70s movies, 50s horror movies with giant monsters and things like that. Playing with people's fears,
Something newer? Can you tell me something newer that you really got off on?
Trying to think of any decent film.
What'd you think of Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, for example?
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Tell me, my expertise is really in serial killers. Tell me what you think of serial killers.
I think they're just out there doing their own thing.
They're out there doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Like that guy at the Taco Bell today, he's out there doing his own thing? Not quite. Come on, Mike.
Well, it's we don't have a choice of who we want to live with in the United States. We're stuck with each other as neighbors, as people living together. And I don't think it's right just to go and throw the people in jail we don't want to have near us, throw them in jail so they'll be with
Well, I
themselves.
mean, they committed crimes.
Yeah, well, I don't believe in the whole justice system. I think there's a lot of people in there.
Are you an anarchist?
Not really.
Do you have a philosophy, a political philosophy that you do
I
ascribe?
think no.
Have you ever
not
voted?
this. The last election.
You did vote?
Yeah.
Really? Would you mind telling me who you voted for on
Was,
a national level?
Perot.
Okay.
And afterwards, I realized I didn't really care anyway. So
I have never voted.
it was a waste
I
of my
refuse. I refuse to be drawn into that bullshit. I think they're all a bunch of crooks, and all they are are spokespersons for the people behind the scenes who are pulling the strings anyway. We never know who they are anyway.
Yeah.
I'm kind of an agnostic when it comes to.
Yeah. I had to try it for myself just to see because I had my mother and father make sure you vote. But
What? You mean you were being a good little boy for mommy and daddy?
Yeah, I figured I might as
Amen.
well try, and I did it.
I'm so glad we have a camera. I mean, you're a witness. Mike Diane is a good little boy underneath all this.
It's got a shot of the American flag behind us.
And the American flag is hanging. I mean, a big American flag.
Yeah,
Folks, I want to point out that we're
stolen
sitting here in
American
Grunge
flag.
Central. Grunge Central.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is Mike Diana's actual home.
Yeah, and
Is it grungy, Mike?
Yeah, Largo's a grungy place as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Largo. It's just
Mm-hmm.
I don't think of my place
Please,
here.
the floor. The floor is really. The floor is great. You know, the floor is really. I mean, we're talking serious grunge here.
Yeah, well, just because. Well, this is my brother's room, actually.
Bullshit. Bullshit. This is Mike Diana's Grunge Central. Now, don't back out of it. You know.
Well, it's
This is where your art comes from, Mike. Okay. You know.
It's Oh, I don't want to spend money right now on a vacuum cleaner. If the state wasn't fucking me over, maybe I'd be able to clean my floor again.
Okay. I'll remember that one.
So,
I'll
blame
remember that one. If the state wasn't fucking me over, I could clean my floor.
Get it on video because we
that's
can use
what I'll
this in
tell 'em.
court for damages.
Damages. Damn right. Well, get the trident and the dirty laundry all mixed in. The burned artwork. It's all really. This is real. This is very real. This is not bullshit. This is real. And we are what we are.
Mm-hmm.
And for one thing, I'm here to say Mike Diana ain't no fucking phony.
Oh yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
I would hate to come up here and find out you were like Peter Max. You don't know who fuck Peter Max is. Listen to him.
that?
Listen to me blank look. Peter Max is supposed to be the big counterculture artist, and he's nothing but an effete millionaire sitting up there in his fucking condo, and mass producing his art, and wheeler dealering the whole thing. Probably doesn't even do his art. I'm not picking on Peter Max. I'm just using this compared to you. You're a real artist.
Kind of like what's their names? They were lip syncing or something.
Yeah, Milli Vanilli.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
this is the real
yeah,
thing.
I'm not out to scam anybody. Just offering my stuff and that's it.
Well, your stuff is getting better. I must say, I didn't approve of your production values in Boiled Angel. Had nothing to do with the content or the shock value. I didn't care too much for your artistic values, your production values. It really pissed me off. I don't, grunge is one thing. The aesthetic of ugliness is one thing, but I like to see my ugliness beautifully presented.
Yeah.
And I think you're getting to it, that you're starting to think like me without even knowing it. I see in your latest work that we have blacks, we have whites, we have straight lines, and we have a story. It's great. I really think you're growing as an artist, Mike.
Yeah.
I do.
So.
And I want to encourage you.
Yeah, I
really want to encourage you in every way.
And
But I
encourage
particularly
everybody.
want to encourage you in branching out artistically. I think beyond the shock value of the material that you presented, that you are prodigiously talented in terms of as an artist. And I'd like to see your artistic talent showcased more as you come along as an artist. And I really want to encourage you that way. And I want to see some art shows in New York. I want to see you taken seriously as an artist. And I don't want to see you dismissed because of that bad boy bullshit.
Yeah.
And, if you and me and the state of Florida just, cooperate on this thing, well, they're going to make your career, my career, both, I mean, coming after us is the stupidest thing they ever could have done. If they wanted to put us out of business, they didn't know they're dealing with real maniacs here.
Yeah.
They think that if they go after your pocketbook, you're going to stop because that's all they care about.
Yeah, it's true.
They think we're going to attack you, we're going to put you out of business because you're a business. They don't even know what a fucking maniac is. They already know what a fucking artist is. They don't even know. And they don't realize that when they come after us this way, that they're only stoking the fires.
Yeah.
And
The
hopefully
the flames are getting higher and higher by the day.
burn that motherfucker down. All right. Let's hear it for Mike, Diana, and Sondra London. We're going to show the state of Florida and the United States about real art. Okay? Okay, thank you very much for attending.
If you can't take a joke, go fuck yourself. And have a drink. What's it off?
He doesn't know how to turn it off.
On the side behind that lens, other side. I guess I can get up now.
Yeah, you can pretty much.